Learning with Purpose is a web-based teaching and learning management system. Authorised users access LWP using a standard web browser, such as Firefox, Internet Explorer, or Safari on a Mac, or even your iPhone via the web browser. It's accessible from any computer with an internet connection. So whether you're at school, at home, or on the road, you can access LWP. It's not just a school database, it uses the core database to allow teachers and administrators to manage things such as classes, attendance, lesson planning, and assessment, and a lot more too. It's built around the VALS framework, so it has a built-in curriculum module for assessment. The aim of this video is to give a brief overview of LWP, and I'll highlight some of the core elements and features. We'll start our tour by logging in as the administrator. The administrator has rights to every element of the system, including school setup and the whole setup of the system. The administrator can also assume the rights of any other user in LWP. Now you can see here we've got a home screen, and this is where we arrive after login. On the home screen we have some general information, plus access to the menus which take us to the various features. So if we just take a brief look at the information on the home screen, over here we have a media player. Now this isn't a music player where you can just put music in and play it. It's actually an audio player where the administrator can push out audio files or make audio files available to all users in LWP. So maybe it would be a principal's address or a school radio station. So you can make those audio files available. Here we have a communication panel, and this is just for some general communication within LWP. Underneath that we have a newsfeed panel, and this is set up by the administrator to link to some RSS feeds for various news. Now if you have your own news feed that you create within the school, you can also connect that to this panel so you can accept those news feeds. So you can see these are just headlines with an expandable list for more information. Over to this side we have a public calendar. Now we've used the Google gadget here, which is the Google Calendar, and that's a very powerful calendar. So we will show you how to use that probably in the training sessions. But what it does is it links to the Google Calendar and then pushes that information through to LWP, which then appears on the home screen. And underneath that we have some general weather information for the local area. Next up we'll take a look at the top menu, and we'll step into the school setup. Now on this page the administrator sets up various elements of LWP that are specific to the school. So general information about the school, as in contact details, the school logo. If there's a house system, you can set up all the houses within the school. And you can also set up things like the news feeds that appear on the home page, the type of attendance method used in the school, and various other elements. In the classes menu, this is where we set up our classes. We can list our students, view all our students, assign students to classes and teachers. So if we look at a class here, a prep class, we can see that we've called the class prep, set it to the year level prep, and we've assigned a teacher, and we can define whether there will be a signature on the report from that teacher or any other teacher, and also from the head or the principal of the school. You can also search the attendance records for absentees, and you can produce all the school reports for this class by simply selecting the class and the semester and then producing the school report ready to print. At the core of LWP is the database. Now this is where all the staff and student information is held. We'll just first take a look at the staff database, and you can see we just have general information. We can list the staff or add new staff members or search for staff members. And if we just click an update button here, this is the sort of information that is kept for a staff member, contact information, etc. If we go back to our student database, same thing. We can search, we can list, and we have a lot more profile information or student information, such as medical information, relatives, etc. When you first start using LWP, you can actually import all your student information in from another system. There is a bit of table matching that goes on, but we can assist with that. We've also just introduced a new feature which allows you to import all the student images into the system in one go, as long as your photos are in a particular format, which we can also help you with. You can also add custom fields to your database if we have not covered all the fields required for your school. System management is where you control and manage the sessions within LWP. You can create new sessions for the new year, or you can back up or even load previous sessions. The administrator has access to the curriculum setup page. It is here that the curriculum, various elements of the curriculum are set up, most of which are already done. Things like progression points, stages of schooling are all set up for your school. But the part that you will need to set up yourself is the areas of learning. So you need to add your own areas of learning and assign them to classes and to teachers. Those areas of learning, once assigned to the classes, they are the core of the assessment and reporting. We'll just take a quick look at an AOL and see the elements that are set up. So basically you have an AOL title, you assign it to a year level and a semester and term, you assign a teacher, and then you choose the elements that you want to assess and that you want to appear on the report. So the work habits, the type of comments that will appear on the report, the dimensions that will be assessed, and you can also add a learning focus overview which will feed through to each student's report. Down the bottom here you can also add documents that will then become available to the teachers when they are doing their assessment. So these might be unit overviews or reference documents that are related to this AOL. And the last button we'll look at is the account button. Now this just allows you to control details within your account, as in changing the password or details, or if you're the administrator or coordinator, you can then assume the identity of someone below you. So I'm the administrator, I can assume the identity of any teacher or coordinator within the system. So that sums up everything that an administrator would do within LWP. Teachers do not need to worry about a lot of that, because it is just the administrator who needs to do that initial setup at the start of semester or the start of the year. The teachers only need to worry about the day-to-day use and the assessment and recording, which we'll show in the next video.